Kent State organizations are kicking off a campaign to get students involved in the upcoming elections. More on the events being held around campus up ahead.
Today, students on campus had the chance to learn more about the Constitution. Hear all about the events hosted in Kent's library.
The latest updates as Boeing workers continue to strike. Coming up, we'll tell you about some of the offers employees have been made to come back to work.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Kent State, and welcome to Kent Stater TV. I'm Noah Rowe.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Thank you so much for joining us on your Tuesday evening. Our very own Landry Torres is now joining us in studio as Kent State recognized Constitution Day today.
You know, Landry attended the speech and student panel held at the Kent State Library. Landry, what can you tell us about this event?
Thanks, Noah. Today marks 237 years since the signing of the Constitution, and Kent State University is doing their part to celebrate. Tuesday, Kent State students and faculty gathered to recognize the importance of the U.S. Constitution. Guests were invited to celebrate and discuss American democracy.
We are actually looking at an important day that is central to our lives because everything in the law touches everything in society.
The event was held in the library, and guests were able to hear from author and journalist Stephen Herman. A discussion panel focused on student and staff questions on media, law, and individual freedoms.
To do this, citizens must remain informed and engaged. And I know how difficult this is in a toxic political environment and in an era when discerning truth from misinformation and disinformation is difficult.
I think his point was that we need to be objective in our speech. We need to be civil. We need to engage with ideas as opposed to political violence or any violence.
This is only the start for KSU engagement.
It's something that was on my radar screen for the time, but we never had an official forum or venue to do it. So I believe it's at the beginning of a tradition again.
Staff says they're grateful to be able to celebrate and hope to continue this tradition in the future.
Well, I think engagement.
For similar events, visit kent.edu. For Kent Stater TV, I'm Landry Torres.
Thank you, Landry. Following the controversial post made by the Portage County Sheriff on Facebook yesterday, a handful of people living in Portage County have filed complaints against him. No overt threats were made in the post, but residents have said that the content of the tweet was unnerving to them. An expert with a nonpartisan legal center has said that the post, quote, at the bare minimum was irresponsible and, quote, very well could have been voter intimidation.
Springfield, Ohio schools reopened today with increased security after at least 33 bomb threats. Some of the threats targeted Springfield schools and City Hall, but all were not valid threats. Senator J.D. Vance has faced criticism since the ongoing comments about Haitian migrants where they were eating pets. This was re-emphasized by former President Donald Trump on stage during last week's debate.
Hello everybody, I'm Tegan Evans coming at you with the weather for Kent and the rest of Ohio. Let's start here in Kent. Right now it is 77 degrees, mostly sunny. There are a few clouds out there. Wind east 5 to 7 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at the state of Ohio. In Kent, we are at 77 degrees, like I just said. As we go up north by the lake in Ashtabula, it is 77. Down near Cleveland, it drops to 75. Then in Sandusky, it drops to 73. As we move more south, near this northeast region of Ohio, we have Youngstown sitting at 78 degrees, Akron-Canton at 78 degrees, and Worcester and Mansfield also both at 78 degrees. Now the whole state of Ohio. Toledo is sitting at a warm 78 degrees. Akron-Canton again, 78 degrees. And then as we move south, Columbus and Cincinnati are both 82 degrees. And Athens is a little bit cooler, sitting at 72 degrees. Then over in the east, we have Pittsburgh sitting at a cooler but warm 77 degrees. That's all I have for you right now. I'll be back soon with the hourly weather for tonight and the weather for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Tegan. And as we get closer to November, multiple on-campus efforts have been made to get students registered to vote.
That's right, and our very own Jonathan Beard was able to attend the event last night and is now in studio. Jonathan?
Thank you, Sydney. Several campus groups kicked off their electoral extravaganza yesterday, aiming to educate students on the electoral process and register them to vote. Their first event, however, had less participation than planned, or at all. No one showed up to the first event of Kent State Vote's electoral extravaganza Monday night, but undergrad student government director Zach Graves is still hopeful about the week ahead.
I think a lot of students are excited. There's a lot of things on the ballot to be voted on and a lot of opportunities to create change.
Graves explained in an earlier interview that the workshop, held in the Pepsi Leadership Center, was meant as the first step to connect students with information about the voting process on campus.
Tonight's workshop is mainly focused on voter registration and education. So we'll go through the process of registering to vote. If people want to do it there, they're more than welcome to.
USG is one of many on-campus groups that are making efforts to get students involved, especially as election day gets closer and closer.
I've seen some people with the clipboards. I think a few weeks ago I saw one of the tables that had some sign-up sheets. I know I've seen some people float around in the library.
This afternoon, Kent State Vote showed their campaign outside on campus, with the college president and several student groups participating in events.
I'll say that for sure. It's the only way we're going to get our voices heard is, through voting. It's time to get our opinions heard. So it's more power when you vote. So voting is powerful. When you vote, you have power. So I encourage students to use their power and vote.
Gather on the CADA Day to encourage students to register. Several student organizations set up tables with activities and treats to engage students on the voting process. Participants included SALSA, Black United Students, the League of Women Voters, and KSU College Democrats. Even President Dyken came and helped pass out free t-shirts. With KSTV News, I'm Jonathan Beard.
Do you know Kent State Police's
How safe
phone
is
number?
Kent State? Hear what campus police are doing to make sure you stay safe on campus.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back. As we get into the new school year, it's important to know what resources are on campus to keep you safe.
And reporter Lex Brady is joining us, who spoke with campus police to learn more about KSU safety. Lex?
That's right, guys. Today I went out to talk to students and Kent State Police to find out the measures they're going to keep campus safe. Do you know Kent State Police's phone number?
No.
Do you know where Campus Police is located on campus?
I don't really know where it is located. I just know where the blue lights are. I'm assuming it's located closer to the student center though.
Do you know what the blue lights on campus are for?
You can call like 911 or something if you don't have your phone and you're on campus in an unsafe situation.
Kent State's campus police keep a consistent presence on campus, with 26 police officers patrolling 24 hours, 7 days a week through cruisers, bicycles, and even on foot. And they want students to know the resources they have to offer.
They're out there on campus 24/7, primarily making our campus and community safe, but also getting to know our students, faculty, and staff as well.
In addition to their patrols, the Kent State Campus Police also have their own station on campus, along with a phone line staffed with dispatchers ready to assist at any time.
If it's a non-emergency, if you have a question, if you just want to make a report of something that's not in progress, you can dial our 10-digit number, which is 330-672-2212.
50 blue lights are placed all around campus for students to use as an additional method of safety.
You can run up to one of those blue light phones, push the button, the dispatcher, it'll ring into dispatch, and the dispatcher would answer it promptly.
These safety measures have helped contribute to Kent State being recognized as the safest college campus in the state of Ohio and ranked 25th nationally. On top of that, Kent State Campus Police has been accredited for their quick and effective response.
So we try to keep ourselves to a high standard. We've been accredited with the highest level of accreditation for 9 years now, and will be reaccredited this year.
Just wanted to advertise the non-emergency phone number for Campus Police one more time. If you or someone you know needs to report a crime or have a question, please call 330-672-2212. For KSCB News, this is Lex Rady.
Thank you, Lex. Lots of new updates in the world of pop culture today.
Luckily, we have Matt Crawley here in studio to tell us more about the headlines you may have missed. Matt?
Sydney, Noah, good evening, and yeah, that's right. Tonight on this Tuesday, it's all about pop culture as we start with news from the music world tonight. Reporter and performer and producer Sean Diddy Combs has been charged with racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. According to the federal indictment, Combs engaged in a pattern of physical, verbal, emotional, and sexual abuse of women. He's also accused of using his business and employees to help cover up the abuse and commercial sex. Combs was taken into custody at a Manhattan hotel Monday night and was immediately processed. Keeping things music related, a pop icon suffering a sudden death. Tito Jackson passed away Sunday of a heart attack. A spokesman for his sister Janet said that he suffered the attack while driving from New Mexico to Oklahoma. Jackson was a member of one of the biggest pop groups of the 1970s, the Jackson 5, producing hits such as ABC and I'll Be There. Tito Jackson was 70 years old. A beloved Banksy balloon print that was boosted by burglars is back where it belongs. That's according to the UK's Grove Gallery, which shared recent surveillance video of a burglar breaking into the gallery and swiping a $360,000 print of artist Banksy's iconic Girl with the Balloon. The gallery's manager told media outlets he was, quote, horrified when he found the smashed door and an empty spot where the famous print had hung. And those are the biggest pop culture headlines of the day. For more from us, make sure to visit us online at kentwire.com. Reporting from the Franklin Hall studio, Matt Crawley, Kent Stater TV.
Thanks, Matt. Wildfires continue to engulf the northern and central parts of Portugal. Seen here is satellite video from space of large plumes of smoke from European organizations for exploitation of meteorological satellites. The blaze has closed 6 highways and has more than 5,000 firefighters battling the flames across the country. 4 people have died and 40 people are injured since the fires began on Sunday.
And people are still buried under rubble in Gaza following more airstrikes earlier this morning. The IDF carried out these airstrikes against Hamas targets in the area. Gaza's Defense Force are unable to give precise numbers about how many people were killed or injured, and the IDF has also not given any further comment on today's strikes.
Tegan Evans. Let's take a look at the weather for the rest of the night, along with what the rest of the week is going to look like. Here in Kent at 6 p.m. it is currently 77 degrees. There is some sun, but there also are some clouds. Then as the sun sets and the night goes on, at 9 p.m. it is going to drop to a still warm 70 degrees. And then as the night goes on even more, at midnight it drops to 65 degrees for the low. Then next up we have tomorrow. Tomorrow will be partly sunny and 76 degrees. So the weather's still staying nice, hasn't gotten cold yet. The wind will be east 5 to 9 miles per hour. Now let's look at the extended forecast for the rest of the week, starting with tomorrow, a high of 76 and a low of 60, partly sunny. The sun continues throughout the week. Next up Thursday, still mostly sunny, some clouds throughout the day, a high of 82 and a low of 55. Then on Friday, the sun continues and the temperatures rise up to 83 with a low of 57. On Saturday, mostly sunny, a few clouds, an even warmer high of 85 and a low of 58. Then on Sunday, a high of 83 and a low of 60, still continuing with that sun. Then Monday, finally, the weather is changing a little bit. It is still going to be a little sunny, but some occasional showers as there is a 30% chance of rain. The high will be 78 and the low will be 57. Then on Tuesday, the sun will continue. It will be partly sunny with a high of 77 and a low of 58. Even as fall is approaching, the weather is staying warm. That's all I have. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Tegan. Boeing contract negotiations are resuming, according to a union representative. It's the first time Boeing and union leaders will sit down since a massive strike began last week. About 33,000 Boeing employees are currently on strike, and the company's main aircraft production work is virtually shut down. Analysts say the walkout could cost the manufacturer more than $1 billion if it were to last for months. In a memo to employees, Boeing's CFO acknowledges the financial strain and announces some cost-saving measures.
Former President Trump is now officially entering the cryptocurrency world. The new business venture, World Liberty Financial, which will be controlled by sons Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. This family cryptocurrency business is an alternative to what they contend is a banking system tilted against conservatives. He announced in May that his campaign would begin accepting donations in cryptocurrency leading up to Election Day.
Rescue teams have been unable to recover the body of a 31-year-old man who fell between 300 and 400 feet into a cave in Colorado. Despite 2 attempts so far by rescue teams from multiple agencies, the recovery efforts have been deemed too dangerous to continue. The man, whose identity has not been released, fell while hiking on the remote trail. Authorities say that the decision to halt the recovery was an agonizing one, and they prioritized the safety of rescuers.
And a scary moment in New Jersey when a tree came crashing down during a youth baseball game. The Little League team of 10 and 11-year-olds was getting ready to bat when a tree crashed onto the dugout area of the bleachers. Some players suffered minor injuries and did not require medical attention. The opposing team's coach even shared that, quote, "It wasn't my team, but at that moment, those were my players."
Monday Night Football traveled to Philly as the Eagles wanted to get their first win in the continental United States this season when they took on the Falcons.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
I could go back and change it all. I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. but I can't.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is.
Paw, do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Gage Wellman, and it's quite the exciting time to be a sports fan, so let's get right into what's new in the world of sports. The Kent State men's golf team finished 4th at the Canadian Collegiate Tournament on Monday. The Flashes finished with an overall score of 570. The story of the match for the Flashes was Isaiah Isbit, who recorded 10 birdies across 36 holes on the day. The Flashes will return to action next Saturday at the Virtues Intercollegiate in Nashport, Ohio. And we had a full-on Birds Fest last night in Philly. Jalen Hurts looking to go 2-0 as he'll fire a strike to former Heisman winner Devontae Adams. That would make it 7-3 Eagles. He's going to stretch out his arms here for a celebration. Then, Kirk Cousins. Well, he would fire a deep ball right into the hands of former Chicago Bear. Maybe you remember him, Darnell Mooney. He's going to somersault and wrestle his way into the end zone, a little WWE. Speaking of physicality, boom! C.J. Gardner-Johnson lays down the hammer against Bijan Robinson. That would prevent the Falcons from getting the first down. Then later, big crucial play here, the Eagles can put it away as Barkley drops the ball. Now this is pretty huge as this would set up a field goal attempt, not a touchdown for the Eagles, which would allow then the Falcons to come back on a long winding drive, which would result in a touchdown to Drake London. Now, that would do it, folks. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. As Hurts looking, firing, pause, deep into, picked off. Jesse Bates picks it off, and that would be it. Now, Kirk Cousins gets his first win with the Falcons, throwing for 241 yards and the game-winning touchdown. Meanwhile, Philly now falls to 1-1 as they'll look to rebound next week against the Saints, while the Falcons will go to take on Patrick Mahomes. The Cleveland Guardians and Minnesota Twins will face off tonight in a matchup with serious playoff implications. Towing the rubber for Cleveland will be the right-hander Gavin Williams. Opposite him will be Zebby Matthews for the Twins. If the Guardians find a way to win tonight, they could be able to secure a playoff spot as early as tomorrow. The game is set for 6:40 and will be played in Progressive Field. Well, Portage County, that's all I've got for you. That's all the time we have. I've been Gage Wellman, and have a wonderful night, sports fans.
Coming up after the break, we're going to take a quick look at a couple of twins celebrating a very important milestone. Stay tuned for that.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, kitty cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your turn. a grown-up on the show.
And a story brought to us by TV2 alumni Alex Manthe. A pair of twins in Toledo are celebrating their 102nd birthday. Known as the Johnson twins, they were born in 1922 and raised in Toledo's Old West End. In a birthday message, the pair told everyone to be kind, help your neighbor, and not to spread hate. Family members traveled from as far as Texas to celebrate these two.
What a special story. Love Alex. Out of Bedford, police reported an 8-year-old girl was found shopping at a Target store after she took a car and drove there on busy roads. Local police took a call for a missing child on Sunday morning, and in their search also received a call concerning a small child driving down Rockside Road. They then found the car at Target, which is an estimated 20 to 25 minutes from her house. The girl told police that she struck a mailbox. She is too young to be charged and is thankfully okay. Now, this is just a crazy story in general, but we are inviting our own Sophia Sonato on because she is a current Target employee.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. We wanted to kind of talk a little bit about, keeping our young ones safe when we're shopping. So, if you were to see, an 8-year-old just wandering off on their own, does that sound off alarm bells from a, employee standpoint?
Yes, I am lucky to say that we have a lot of policies in place to kind of support our guests, especially in those instances where a child is missing and we find them, or if a parent is locating their child. We have walkie-talkie systems throughout the entire store, and we're able to locate these children pretty easily. I've experienced these situations myself, and on the employee end, we do our best to find them as quickly as possible.
Awesome. So you said you've experienced this situation before. Any stories of an 8-year-old driving themselves to Target?
No, actually, no one, driving themselves. My sister's 9 years old too, and I couldn't even begin to think of her driving a car 20 minutes and parking, and the only issue being that she had a mailbox.
Yeah, I can barely park as we are now, so I'm very impressed that she was able to make it. But that is unfortunately all the time that we have this evening. Thank you all so much for joining us.
As always, follow us on social media and check out everything and where you can find your community and your stories on Kent Wired.
I've been Noah Rowe.
And I've been Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
How's your hair? Is it pretty? Daddy.
It's pretty.